Hey guys, so today's video I am showing you the process of raising these meat chickens. It was the first time I raised them in 15 years. The last time I was in 4-H, and so it was kind of fun to go through and compare the sizes of the broiler chickens with the laying hens. And so I have a few different clips from the 8 weeks that we had the broilers with the hens, so you could kind of see what they looked like comparable back and forth. Enjoy. A friend gave me this little, I guess you call it a coop, and they weren't using it anymore, so I thought this would be perfect to contain them while I was doing a little maintenance, and as they get bigger, we'll be able to have them outside and be contained and not have to worry about a predator issue. Now, all these little white ones here are going to be our meat birds, and then if you see any little ones picked, there's one here, and there's about 3 in the back over here. Get a picture. Those are the laying hens that we got. Okay, these are our 2 chicks. We've had them 15 days now, and the one on the left is the Colombian Wyandotte that will be our new laying hen. The one on the right is the Cornish cross that we're growing out to fill our freezer. Look at how big their legs are already compared to the other ones. This week the boys and I went and got this coop. It's an 8 foot by 8 foot. It's considered a chicken coop. Here's the listing for it. I haven't taken it off yet, but it works nicely to show you. It's an 8 foot by 8 foot, and it's got this nice roof on it, so I don't have to worry about anything trying to get in it. It's all enclosed, and these babies are looking like they're enjoying their time outside. It was due time for these babies to be out here. These are the broilers. They're almost 3 weeks old already, and look at their feathers. You can tell, let's see, I'll put this one out. You can tell this one is a little bit older because of the amount of feathers it's got on it already compared to this one that's beside it. But their feathers are coming in nicely. We're going to be leaving them outside now because it's going to be at least 60 degrees at night, and they'll handle it just fine. We're doing the rotational grazing with them, and I've read a lot, and I think it's got a lot of benefits for the animals and for improving our lawn also. The meat chickens over here now. We've already finished behind the garden, and we've been moving them twice a day, so they're kind of moving along real quickly. I use apple cider vinegar in their water. It just kind of encourages them to drink a little bit more, and it's good for their immune system. Once or twice a day I put it in their water when they get their fresh water, and they've been drinking it, so it's not bothering them, and they're all staying pretty healthy. Alright, so there's a local hardware store just down the road from us that sells this type of chicken food, and we were able to buy this for our broilers. It's non-GMO. The very first bag of food I used was just something that I picked up at the farm store that I bought these from, but since that first bag they've been on this exclusively. It's an 18% broiler grower. Feed says it's for broilers aged 3 weeks to finish, so that's what they've been on. They started with a chick starter type of grower, and then we put them on this. I just had them here last night. I put them here, it was about 7 o'clock last night, and then I just moved them over here, and they'll be here throughout the day till this evening. I'll show you inside here. So they are finishing up real good. We should have a nice group of chicken here. I had this feeder hanging, but it fell, and I figured since it was just last night that it fell, I'm not going to worry about hanging it. But as you see, when you leave it on the ground, they eat laying down, which is not very good for their breast, because you could get a little bit looser breast. This one hanging is encouraging them to stand and walk. They're pretty hot, so I'm hoping we get a little bit better breeze through here and get them cool back down. But now that they're out of the sun and just have this little bit, they should cool down nicely. Alright guys, so here is a hen, and she's a little bit hot and a little bit stressed because I picked her up and moved her from the rest of her crew. But look at her compared to her posse of same age. So here is a hen that's the same age as these 4 behind her, and you can definitely tell she's got some size on to her. And then this hen that's 8 weeks old, going to tomorrow, compared to these guys who are full-grown 1-year-old. Quite the difference, and she is actually probably weighs more than some of the ladies in there. Like that white one that's cleaning herself. This broiler hen definitely weighs more than she does in there. She is heavy. But I want to give you one last comparison before we take them off to the butcher. And she's hot. I'm gonna go put her back with her crew. Okay guys, so this was really fun for me. I'm glad I grabbed the camera a few different times and was able to show you the sizes back and forth with these chickens. It's really crazy how fast they gain the weight. My chickens were 8 weeks old. There was a few that might have been pushing that 9 weeks mark because I did buy them just at a farm store. I didn't have the mail delivered to our house. and the heaviest one that I weighed was 9 pounds, and the lightest one was just under 5, and that would have been one of the hens. The heavy one that was the 9 pounds was actually broke down into pieces, and so when I pulled the breast out, because I was separating breast from the legs, thighs, and wings, I weighed it and it was 3 pounds. So that was probably one of the older chickens, and it was actually a rooster. The older ones were roosters, so they're going to be a little bit bigger than your hens anyhow. So it was kind of fun. For prices, by the time I bought the chickens at $1.99 a piece, and I bought 25, I ended up taking 20 to the butcher. Feed cost was right around $300, and to have them processed, and I also bought some ice on that day from the place, was just under $80, which ended up bringing my total to $1.70 a pound. I just cooked one up this week, and it was a 7.5 or so pound chicken, and I was able to do 3 meals out of it. Well, 2 meals and a side, because we did a chicken and rice casserole, chicken noodle soup, and I also had some extra chicken that was enough for my son to make a buffalo chicken dip that he hasn't had for a while, so that worked out well. And not to mention, as soon as I was done cooking the chicken and got all the meat off, I threw it in my Instant Pot and made broth. And I didn't measure how much I got, but I very easily had 3 quarts of broth just from the carcass, and without me adding much more to it. So all in all, I'm really pleased with these chickens. I am excited to be offering this to my family. We ended up with 136 pounds of meat, and it'll be countless quarts of broth that I'll be able to make out of all of this. It'll definitely be something that we continue to do year after year. I think that these chickens will last us 7-8 months. Just depends on it'll just depend on how heavy we want to eat the chicken and how many meals we want to have at one time. But I probably won't make so many meals back to back with our chicken like I just did this week. But that's how my week went, and I had it cooked, so I went ahead and just kept using it. It's easy to freeze and just pull out once you have it cooked and ready to go. And one other thing, I ended up with the 20 chickens. I did 10 whole, and I did 10 that I had broke down into pieces. So when I brought the chicken home, I put the pieces into different baggies. So the chest cavity, I just put in its own bag, and then I had thighs, legs, and wings in another bag, and breasts in a separate bag. So if I want to make chicken and I just don't have the time to do a whole chicken, it's just easy for me to grab. That's going to be a game changer, having them broke down into those pieces on weeks that I'm really busy canning. I can just pull it out and then have to worry about devoting a couple hours to roasting. Because for my chickens being quite as big, they averaged around 7 pounds a piece. That's definitely like a 2-hour cook time for a whole chicken, because they got to get that 165-degree internal temperature, and so that's what it ended up being the other day when I cooked the one I did. If you are interested in the actual numbers and me breaking down exactly how the cost went for this, I have a newsletter that I typed up, and I will set the link down in the description. I hope this was informative for you, and I look forward to pulling some more videos together throughout the summer on different things with the fence and the garden and different things like that that you'll be able to hopefully reference and be able to use for your own family. If anyone else is interested in information about raising the broiler chickens and any other fine details that I've not included in this, shoot me a message and I will get back to you and try to hit any of those areas that you might be questioning. Really, it was not hard, and for 2 weeks of my time, I have 136 pounds of chicken for our family in my freezer. And with the way things are going, I know that this is fresh. I know that it's healthy chicken, and I don't have to worry about any negative things coming out of the chicken, coming out of these chickens. They've been well taken care of when they were alive, and they're going to feed our family well. So if you like this video and you want to see what else is going on with us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. The more you guys do that, the more we will be able to show up on other people's YouTube listings and be able to get a little bit more traction and get our farm out to more people to see. I'll talk to you all soon.